My name is David White, and this presentation is on Wil Haygood, an author and journalist from Columbus, Ohio, and alumni of Miami University. He is well known as a prolific journalist and author. His works include King of Cats, In Black and White, and Colorization. His professional career as a journalist spanned many organizations, but most notably the Boston Globe and Washington Post. Wil Haygood was born on September 19th, 1945, in Columbus, Ohio. He was raised on the north side of Columbus in an integrated neighborhood with his grandparents and mother. After age 8, his mother wanted independence, and he and his mother moved to Boulevard Arms, an old black housing project on the east side of Columbus. There he spent the rest of his childhood, and through this experience of witnessing the disparity of his early childhood and after, he has a greater understanding of the social and race issues from the unique perspectives living in both an integrated and non-integrated community. He goes deeper into this in one of my citations, The Chocolate Voice, where he has an interview directly about his childhood, if you'd like to view it. After high school, he enrolled at Miami University in 1972. In that same interview, he actually states that he enrolled for the chance to play the basketball team and wanted to study urban planning to use his degree to better improve the communities that he's from. But through his classes, many of his professors took note of his exceptional writing and storytelling skills rather than his skill in urban planning, and many of them pushed him to pursue a career in writing. He gained a passion for journalism by taking their advice to being employed in local newspapers and started using his abilities to tell stories about the communities he was from. In his early career as a journalist, Haygood worked at both the Charleston Gazette and Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He wrote articles about racial and social inequality in the respective cities, and as his reputation grew for being a well-known journalist specializing on racial and social activism, he was allowed to seek a job at the Boston Globe as a national and foreign correspondent. And while working at the Boston Globe, he traveled the world to report on global inequality and bring to light many untold stories to the American public and global stage. In this photo we see to the right, we see him standing with Winnie Mandela, the wife of Nelson Mandela, during a protest for Nelson Mandela's freedom. Nelson Mandela was an outspoken black voice in South America during the height of South American apartheid. The word itself meaning institutionalized racism and segregation, and as a result, shared many similarities with Jim Crow era segregation. This gave Haygood an interesting black American journalistic perspective, which led him to be recognized for many awards. Notably, he was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize Award, an incredibly prestigious award in writing, and as an author, not a journalist, he also wrote his first three books during this time at the Boston Globe. In 2002, he became an investigative reporter for the Washington Post, notably the same newspaper that published Watergate, an explosive investigative article. Like other works in the Washington Post, his work was a closer look into the American public and the stories that often go untold. One of his key works was an investigative report that turned into a book called The Butler, was later adapted into film. As a result, his work was able to reach a wide audience and significantly contribute to public awareness in racial social inequities. We will see The Butler in a later slide. And here we see The Butler in this slide, along with two other books. The Haygoods of Columbus, the book in 2016, explores the story of a black family in Ohio, is a fictional novel written by him, which is very personal to him, tying many, many things from his own childhood into a fictional tale about a black family. Then in 2008, before that, he wrote a story about the butler, which was a very interesting thing to research. It was an investigative report that turned into a book, and it was about a White House butler named Eugene Allen who served multiple presidents during the segregation and civil rights struggles. And then one of his most recent books, Colorization, written in 2021, chronicles 100 years of black films in America, revealing the challenges and triumphs in the entertainment industry. Wil Haygood's impact on the readers is due to his extensive career as a journalist and author that helped readers gain a different perspective in understanding issues in Black history and culture domestically and globally. The various stories he tells reveal the resilience of communities and the individuals within them that face oppression. His balanced approach to writing, which is focused on nuanced narratives combined with historical accounts, provides greater awareness of racial issues within his own communities and around the country and around the world. And here we see him receiving the Freedom of Summer of '64 award in 2023, which was awarded him by the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center for his extensive writing about Black history during that era. When it comes to his role as a teacher and mentor, he actually did return to Miami University as a distinguished scholar from 2014 to 2016. He taught journalism media courses and directly engaged with many of the young writers seeking journalistic internships and opportunities to promote their passions for writing. He delivered a keynote speech at the Miami University's 2013 commencement ceremony, which actually is what springboarded his opportunity into becoming a distinguished scholar, and his role at the university strengthened his commitment to education greatly and allowed him to find more passion in involving himself in the education of young minds. Will Haygood's contributions to the culture of Ohio and Columbus are great, and many of them can be pinpointed directly to Columbus itself. He served as the guest curator for the Columbus Museum of Art's exhibit I Too Sing America, which celebrated the Harlem Renaissance. The exhibit was on display from 2018 to 2019 and featured many influential artists such as Jacob Lawrence and Romare Boudin. And through this role, he promoted awareness of Black cultural history and artistic achievement in Ohio. His work in curating the exhibit reflects a dedication to preserving and honoring African American heritage. Here we have one of the main paintings that was shown on the exhibit by Alan Rohan Creed. I think that's how you pronounce it. Is School's Out. It was painted in 1936. In conclusion, Will Haygood is able to combine journalism and literature to bring to light many, many stories of African American history and culture, especially those found in Ohio and central Columbus. His detailed storytelling brings attention to overlooked individuals and events, strongly pointed towards political events. He's found many investigative reports and written many on Supreme Court hearings about Black history, especially over Jim Crow laws, and many involved in sports. Strongly connected to Ohio, Haygood contributes to education and cultural preservation, with his legacy continuing to inspire both readers and students to understand and value diverse histories. His career exemplifies the power of narrative to influence social awareness and change.